here you have a game where people from all over the world are engaged in business, you know, making $150,000 a year inside the game. You know, all their friends are in there. You've discovered this. People are getting married to people in there. And more and more, our lives online as we move into the 21st century are going to be moving into, if not Second Life, then spaces like this. And it's very, very important to think about the governance structures and who's running the show and why they're running the show and how they're running the show. And if it's just some game company establishing a class of elite users and anointing them as the aristocracy of the new world, I mean, then what kind of future are we looking at? We're looking at a future, you know, we're looking at a future like I suppose that you know, Romans had to look at or something like that. I mean, it's that kind of governance structure. A lot of money is donated. There are a lot of right in early America. There used to be these what we called barn raisings, where all the neighbors would come over and help you to build a barn. Right. There's a lot of that spirit in the game now. I mean, that may go away.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ugliness too. The Second Life is growing so fast that you just can't hire and train people to supervise this. So at some point, they have to figure out how they can enable the users to create their own governance system, because they're not going to be able to do it. So a number of people, right after I was banned from The Sims Online, reacted that, well, look, this is, you know, it's their game, they can do whatever they want with it, right? The problem is that just because you own something, it doesn't always mean you can do whatever you want with it. So if I own a house that's historically preserved, I can't destroy it, right? Because there's something about relevant to my culture or my community or whatever, I can't destroy it. You know? Or if I have a pet animal, I can't destroy it or torture it, right? I have a certain responsibility. So sometimes ownership confers responsibility. And I think that what these companies have to understand is that when you own something that's a platform, right, where a community has emerged, it's not something that you can just sort of kick around and destroy, but it's rather something that now you have a responsibility for. If you have tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people in there, making their living in there, conducting their social lives in there, and this is all the lines of communication are in effect in game. Now you have a responsibility to well, you're like a surrogate government at that point, and you have to respect notions like free speech and so forth. So that's one of the kind of editorial concerns that we had, that people begin to understand that these are not just games. We're not just playing Dungeons and Dragons on a tabletop anymore. This is where our lives are going to be played out. These are the new governance structures, right?